The Green Mile proposes a new vision for the City of London as a possible way forward from the crucible of crisis we currently face: COVID, Brexit, and the climate crisis. Now, much of our project has sought to explore the complexity of the City of London, taking present challenges as an opportunity to investigate what it can offer beyond economic self-interests. With nearly half of the residents of neighbouring Tower Hamlets claiming some level of benefits, compared to the seemingly limitless wealth of the city, there is a huge disparity in social reality of those who work in the city and those who live in its shadow. With the departure of its main tenant, the EBRD, the project uses 135-175 Bishopsgate as a tool to hack the city's intrinsic qualities and encourage an explosion of green industry. In recognizing the arrangement of the Tech City, the Square Mile, and the Cultural Mile, we spot an opportunity for the Green Mile to form the missing piece of the puzzle and to connect with the residential neighbourhoods of Tower Hamlets and Shoreditch. The building will be the headquarters of the Institute of Green Technology, researching and developing cutting-edge advancement such as new sustainable methods of hydrogen production, net zero transport strategies, and green finance.
Integral to this vision is the inclusion of spaces for education and reskilling, harnessing the connection between work and education as a more resilient long-term typology. 4 months ago, the UK government announced their 10-point manifesto for a green industrial revolution, planning to invest £12 billion of public funds into green technological advancement. This major move will inevitably further catalyse investment in the private sector, and thus the City of London has a real opportunity to support trailblazing businesses in the progression towards a greener future. In the Institute of Green Technology, green engineering companies and apprenticeship schemes exist alongside groundbreaking research laboratories, interconnected via a core public programme that seeks to educate children and adults alike in ecology and nature. The network of interconnected programmes aim to benefit a wider demographic of Londoners than the corporate office currently does, whilst encouraging a buzz and a gossip between all those who use the building. Capturing the crossover between private corporate work and more open educational and research spaces, our design focuses on the irreducible areas of the floor plan, such as labs, testing facilities, classrooms, green workshops, and social collaborative workstations, providing an exciting environment that is just so much better than the kitchen table.
Built by SOM as part of the Broadgate development in the 80s, 135 to 175 Bishopsgate sits on the northern fringe of the city, on the boundary of 3 distinct boroughs, and sits directly on top of platforms 11 to 18 Liverpool Street. Despite its proximity to the lively impermeable fine grain of Brick Lane to the east and Shoreditch to the north, the fortress of Bishopsgate does everything it can to turn this footfall away and hides its one route through the building at street level. By stretching 260 metres in length, this landscraper offers huge potential to impact the public realm and meet our ambition to open the city gates and offer more than just retail for people who want to venture inside. Our first architectural intervention opens the building up to become an internal public streetscape, establishing itself as a vibrant gateway between the East End and the city. New entrances align with key crossing points from the streets opposite, and a more welcoming sloped threshold of vegetation mediates a step change into the building, improving its connection to Exchange Square to the west and to the plaza outside Liverpool Street Station. This intervention activates a new public programme connecting a food market, welcome centre, community workshop and materials library space to the institute above. A new entrance from Liverpool Street on the southern edge becomes a visual experience from outside, where you see the entrails of the courtyards within.
These sit beneath new widened atria which currently provide insufficient light into the deep floor plates. The addition of natural ventilation replaces the current outdated mechanical systems and provide a new type of plant for the building. The new opening on the ground floor invite the public into the green expanse of the new central atrium, which acts as an interface between the institute and the public realm. Flanked by an interior facade of planting and nature, a treetop walk winds upwards between new wooden pods nestled in the foliage, connecting the ground floor to the roof. Recognizing there are still significant environmental implications of renovating a building of this size, we aim to phase all our architectural tactics into short, medium, and long-term interventions. Staggering the expansion of the existing atria aims to stabilize the effect on the land value of the building and enables live post-occupancy evaluation to influence these incremental design interventions. We hope this long-term approach ultimately sets a precedent for ambitious knock-on projects in the new Green Mile.
Free from the constraints a residential population would impose, the city has greater freedoms to do as it pleases with its existing building stock. As a contentious behemoth of a postmodern office building, the threat to demolish it is real. Whilst recognising the building needs serious improvements to make it fit for purpose in the future, we want to use the building to promote the circular economy and readaptation of existing structures in the City of London. Adding new green infrastructure such as biophilia, natural ventilation and circular economy principles challenges the conventional timeline of a building and the linear cycles of its components. With the option of work from home, dull offices are now inexcusable. Very little has changed internally since the 1980s, when the EBRD moved in, and private director offices flank the perimeter of the building and block access to natural light within. To reimagine the space through a softer architectural approach and challenge the monoclimatic nature of conventional office spaces, we aim to reuse the existing outdated glazing envelope to create new internal configurations of both controlled and variable climates, with new external spaces introducing pockets of dual aspect greenery.
Our final tactic transforms the currently inaccessible rooftop, replacing air conditioning units with a rewilded forest canopy. The rooftop is the crown of the project, providing safe spaces for wildlife to thrive in the city, alongside places to look out over the developing Green Mile. The roof brings together a focus on both physical and mental health, with public sports facilities surrounded by allotments, grassland, beehives, wild vegetation and greenhouse conservatories, housing a rich diversity of biophilia. A rooftop bar, restaurant and outdoor cinema supports the building's public programme below. Framing these interventions through gradual rewilding recognises the structural and environmental implications of building this vision on an existing building. Focusing on the long term, incremental change is needed to transform the rooftop. The heaviest areas of soil depth sit above the existing bomb-proof courts, and the new water system lays the groundwork to trigger the conditions necessary for rewilding to flourish.
A core tenet of our manifesto is that all should benefit from this green revolution. Given its wealth, the city must work harder to be more propositional in its social offering, opening its eyes to the inequalities that exist at its fringes. Our new public program pulls new users into the building, and a treetop walk winds upwards between the collaboration pods entangled in a rewilded atrium. Our vision for 135-175 Bishopsgate hacks the city's forces of agglomeration to establish a new institute of green research and as the first beacon of a green revolution. This is a manifesto for a different way of working and a greener, more connected way of being.